Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome along to the Barbecue Talk Show. My name's Matt.
And my name's Ryan. Tonight we will be talking to none other than Mr. Marcus from Country Wood Smoke again, coming back as a reoccurring guest.
Absolutely.
I'm certainly looking forward to having a chat with him. Going to have a few beers and get stuck in some good conversation. We've got a lot to talk about, so shall we pull him up and get stuck in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi Marcus, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good.
Welcome back. Thank you very much for coming back on
tonight. I've got weird stripy lights all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Let's get
one.
Going
to be taken up by the aliens.
Yeah, there we go.
They're gonna probe you for your new book ideas.
They are. They are.
ET's
how you doing, guys? Cheers.
Cheers. It's good to have you back, mate. Nice to be with you. And always enjoy having a chat with you, Marcus. So,
yeah.
I'm
gonna get myself in
stuff. What are you drinking? You on the red?
I'm on the Malbec tonight.
Ooh, lovely.
Oh yeah.
I've been cooking
a good steak going on, Marcus.
I've been cooking steak this evening. Cooked some nice picanha skewers and started drinking that and didn't want to swap back to beer. So on the Malbec it is. So I've got a bottle of it here.
Sounds bang tidy, man.
Oh yeah, beef steak stuff. Yeah, they're good.
Lovely. That's picking up nice.
I've seen a lot of those kicking about.
Yeah,
they've got some really good reviews. The those guys with their pairings with their steak. It sounds really good. Have to get me some.
That's a nice drop. It was left here by I had a VIP guest here in the week. I don't know if you saw Matthew Hoggy.
Oh yeah,
wow.
England cricketer here. So, we were drinking until about 2:00 in the morning. We polished off like a couple of bottles of bourbon and
nice.
Yeah, cooking lamb chops at 1:00 in the morning, and it was good fun. And then we did some cooking together and stuff because he's setting up Hoggy's Grill up in up near where is it? There's a big lake up there up north.
Windermere?
No, it begins with an R.
Hold on, what about Windermere?
Just gonna change it. Put R in front of it.
Yeah. It's near Nottingham.
Nottingham. I've got no idea. I did do geography, but
there you go. Rutland.
Rutland, that's it. Rutland it is, yeah. So he's just sorted up a barbecue.
Steve's been watching.
Yeah, Hoggy's Grill. So he started started that up there. How can I get I can't see. How do I get the questions and stuff? I can't see comments. Has there been some comments already? I can't see that.
It should be like a little tab on your left-hand side that shows you the comments, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got.
I think so.
No, actually, I think when you're a guest, you don't get the comments come up. We could.
No,
I'll pop them up.
Oh yeah,
Oh, is there a private chat thing?
Yeah. So
that's
I think
for
as a guest, you don't see the comments. The easy way of doing it is we can put them up, or alternatively, you can open up YouTube or Facebook and see them that way.
Okay. I don't
mind.
We'll
chuck them up at the bottom.
If somebody comments,
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on them, or Matt keep an eye on them. Any comments that come up, we'll scroll up along the bottom of the street.
Okay, cool.
So
I like the shirt.
Blue barbecue. What's that? Oh, that's. Nearly done myself a misery then. I'll be honest. little bit of a strain going on, but it's okay.
So Hoggy, who is a lovely bloke, he's a real character, and he popped down here because he set up his barbecue school and wanted to sort of share ideas and stuff and do a bit of cooking together. I've known him for quite a few years, probably about 7 years, and he's always been into barbecuing. So it's a good thing, and he's going to have a barbecue shop up at Rutland, and that's quite exciting, really. And good to
looks like the barbecue talk show is going on a road trip, Ryan.
Up to Rutland. I'm not even sure where Rutland is, I'm totally honest, but I'll go and have a look.
Nottingham.
It's a bit of a distance, but oh well.
So it's not that far, is it? I suppose a few hours.
Yeah, we had a nice night, and he left a couple of bottles of wine here. So
Nice.
I've been enjoying those. So, and we cooked some steaks and things, and yeah, good.
Have you gone through all your homebrew?
Yeah, I need to. I've been so busy the last sort of. How long? It's been a while since we last chatted, hasn't it? I think about a while. So,
about 2 months, I think.
Yeah, so I haven't done any brewing for a little bit because I've been quite busy with my work and stuff and barbecue and everything like that. So I need to do some brewing really.
Well, we'll be able to tie that in nicely with a subject a little bit later on, the Christmas bits and bobs and how to prep and things. Old smoking and odds and bits and bobs.
Anyone starting to feel like the little jingle of Christmas here in the, the...
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure Santa's got COVID.
Yeah.
He's not getting... Yeah, house to house might be a bit... But I think I've started to cure some bacon. I've got that going in the fridge at the minute. I got it all out. It's just drying off a bit. I'm going to cure it. I'm trying to do a little bit of an experiment with it. Instead of putting the cure straight on, I want to let it air dry a little bit. So that way it's got a bit more of a crust before you start to cure it. So that way, in my thinking, it's going to be almost, what's that Italian stuff? Do you know the Italian, sort of like more of an Italian hammy type thing instead of a bacon?
Like prosciutto sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for.
I was going to say pastrami, but it's not. Yeah, prosciutto is the one you're. Yeah,
but that's normally dried out after, isn't it? So cured and then dried.
Well, it's been in the fridge a couple of days. We'll see what happens.
Find out when absolutely.
What's the worst that could happen? You die of food poisoning and
spend Christmas Day on the shitter.
to be fair, it was fairly fresh anyway, so it'd be all right. A couple of days in the fridge ain't going to hurt it. So
it'll be all right, I'm sure. So
the curer sorted it out.
Dutchy's put he loves the homage to Marcus's shirts with ours. We have got, but funnily enough, we have taken delivery of some merchandise created by Dutchy Cooking, and they're awesome. Thanks, Steve, for doing those for us, mate. Thank you.
Really, really, really cool. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
much appreciated. Jimmy Q's in, Lep's in. Hi guys, Mike's in. That's cool. So let's get down to a little bit of chitter chatter. So you have a new book on the horizon, Marcus. Cool.
Yes, I do.
Good. I'm really, really excited about hearing about your inspiration behind it. I've seen some pictures floating around on Facebook, and everything I've seen looks absolutely stunning. Like as always, the pictures are on point. They look really good. And the food looks absolutely delicious. So,
thank you.
How did you come up with a concept? What made you think about sort of like doing things like this?
It's called Skewered, and so Food and Fire's done really, really well. It's blown my what I thought was possible out of the water for just somebody like me who's a normal bloke. And I never, it was always my dream to have a book, and Food and Fire was, it was I put everything I had into that book, and it's done really well, and it's blown me away really. And at the time I was like, right, that's it, I'm never doing another book again, even if they ask me. And I'm not, because a lot of you goes into a book. It's quite draining and quite a lot of work, and a lot of love goes into it. And yes, I wasn't ready for a while, and then the publisher sort of started to say, well, it's done well, have you thought about a new one? And that sort of tickled something in me that said, well, I actually came up with 4 ideas. I'm not going to tell you the other 3 because they might be future books, but I came up with 4 ideas, and literally the last one. So I put 3 in to them, and literally the last one that popped in my head was skewered, cooking on skewers. And the reason I thought that was that like most people start off their barbecue journey and they cook sort of sausages and burgers, and we joke about it because we've been doing it a lot longer. But for a lot of people, that's that's normal. They might go for steaks or something, and if they want to do something a bit fancy, they maybe look at some skewers or something. So that for a lot of people is a next step, and it's not something you see that common in the barbecue sort of world really done. A lot of people don't do skewers for whatever reason. So me being me thought, that is, there's not many books on it as well, really.
No, it's not.
And me being me, I thought, that's the one I want to go for. So that's the one I pushed hardest on, and the publisher felt the same, that was the one with the most potential to do first. And so we came up with an agreement, and and I've known for a while, but it's all happened quite quickly. I've been talking to them for a few months about it over the summer, and then suddenly they're like, right, let's do it, and let's do it now. We want 60 recipes in 2 months, which is excuse the French, fucking crazy.
That's demanding.
I'm going to do it because that's me. I mean, Food and Fire was the same. I mean, they talked about it backwards and forwards, and they say, right, let's do it. Bang, we need, and thankfully, so Food and Fire, there was a bit more in-depth stuff. This is quite straightforward. It's grilling, mostly grilling. Well, it's all grilling, skewers, and there's only so many ways you can say, right, shove your meat on a stick and chuck it over the fire. So it's pretty straightforward like that. And hopefully it's going to be some sort of inspiration really for, me, I always come up with throwing a few curveballs and do something different. And you've probably seen a few of those already. What was it? Sausage meat that I dusted with dry rub and then rolled in pork scratchings.
Yeah.
And then cooked that over the fire. And that was so good. That was really cheeky, so good. And doing a lot of like so I did some picanha today. I did some Nigerian beef skewers that you make like a peanut, sort of spicy peanut dry rub, and it's got like crushed peanuts in it, peanut powder, and it's wonderful. I remember it from working in Nigeria, so it brought back a lot of memories for me, that did. And awesome. Doing recipes, skewer recipes from all over the world, and not just copying necessarily how they do. So I do a lot that I've traveled a lot, and a lot that I remember and things, and I'm twisting up with some of my own ideas. So in Peru they cook they call antichucos, and they cook bits of heart on skewers, spicy heart on skewers.
Okay.
Usually it's like ox heart or something. But I thought, I'm talking to a venison guy, and I'm going to get some venison heart and do it with venison heart. So I'm using the sort of inspiration from overseas. Some of them I'm doing like specifically the same. Others I'm changing up and doing a bit different. So
of course, you always do put your own spin on things. Generally, you always see a good sort of a Marcus stamp on something somewhere down the line.
I was hoping that you weren't. I was hoping you weren't going to go for the national dish of Peru.
Guinea pig.
Sticking a guinea pig. Sticking a guinea pig on a skewer.
I don't really put.
I've got two here, so if I do get stuck for recipe towards the end, I could the family pet. So.
Sorry, kids, you haven't cleared it out. I'm skewering it.
The one I'm really excited about is the sort of Far East section. So I'm doing, each sort of continent: North America, Europe, South America, Middle East, Africa, and then Far East, and then Oceania. So Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, and the one I'm really looking forward to. So I've been hammering through sort of Africa and South America the last sort of week or so. I'm really excited about the sort of the Far East, like the little yakitori and stuff, and doing sort of little chicken yakitori. I'm going to do like crispy chicken skins, all those amazing Far East, and that's what I'm quite excited about. I've got my little Conroe grill ready, my little sort of hibachi style grill ready, and I'm going to grill up loads of those. I'm quite excited. I love the little skewers they do for yakitori, so I'm quite excited about that. It was a subject that burst from me, and it was exciting, and I wanted to share it, and that's when you've got it right, and I just got to do it justice now, which I hope I will.
I can sort of feel the enthusiasm bubbling off you, man. You're really taking with it. It's pretty cool.
I want to go out. I want to get out there and start making some skewers. So Steve wants to know. Steve wants to know whether you have thought about putting any skewers in tandoor.
Well, I haven't got a tandoor.
Have you got a tandoor?
No, I haven't. No. If any companies would like to sponsor me a tandoor, then I can. I'm sure I can suitably feature it in my book.
Absolutely.
So there will be a tandoor section, tandoori section in it, but most people don't have a tandoor. So I'm going to be doing tandoor style on the grill, which I think you can get pretty close to. So I'll be doing stuff. I've been very fortunate that I spent some time in India quite a few years ago, and one of the favorite things for me was like seafood skewers on a big skewer, and it was chunks of. You could order the fish. It was sort of. You could order which fish you wanted, and they put chunks of it on these skewers and brush it with a tandoor spice mix, and then pop it in the tandoor, and you have it with a flatbread. So that is a real memory for me, and was insanely good. And I'm going to try and do that, recreate that on the barbecue, on the grill.
Have you got a Ramek egg?
Have I got what?
Like a Komodo or similar?
Yeah, I've got Komodo Joe, yeah. And
you could use that, couldn't you, as a tandoor?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with something. So,
Oh,
I've got wood-fired ovens. I've got some new sort of super hot grills and stuff. So yeah, I'll come up with something. But it's quite an exciting subject because people don't really sort of go there. You
could always do the old the plant pot tandoor. Plant pots and vermiculite, job done.
Yeah. I might be quite cool. If nobody wants to build your own. I might just treat myself to a tandoor. I've seen a few I like, so the publisher put a bit of money up front as an advance. So I might, when they pay that, I might treat myself to a tandoor. So
sort of put it and come back out again. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We had a guy, Imran from Barbecue Khan on, and he cooks most of his dishes in his tandoor. And those, wow! Not only was the tandoor like really good, it looked like beautiful. I mean, it was one of those things you could leave in your garden, and it wouldn't look out of place.
No, I've seen a few that are like really pretty. So, a good one's fairly expensive, but I don't know.
I must admit, I don't know anything about them, but I like the food. The food is delicious. I'd like to try cooking in tandoor, but it's an art on all in itself, isn't it? It's so hot.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
definitely. So whilst we're on the sort of subject of the new book, you said 60 odd recipes that you've been tasked to create. What's been your favorite one to go to, without giving away too much what's in the book? What's been your favorite couple that you've done?
So the one that really sticks in my head is brisket burnt ends on a skewer with pickles, with dill pickles. So you go burnt end pickle, and pickles grilled are amazing. They go slightly charred on the outside and charred, sweet, pickly, and like then you got the richness of the burnt end, which crisps up a bit more because you grill it, and the fatty. Oh God, it was insane. It was so
it sounds pretty tasty.
I dribble a little bit when I think about that recipe. That was, and it looked beautiful as well. Looked really beautiful. That's probably the one that you know, and it's I was writing that one up the other evening, and it's a fair process to get. You know, you got to cook a brisket point, and you got to get that right. So you know, I obviously talk people through that simply, and then say, well, now you've got your burnt ends. You can do this amazing recipe. So, you know, that's probably the longest, biggest recipe, you know. And
I guess it's one of those ones that you can use for leftovers. Leftovers of brisket? Yeah, don't think so. Yeah. But yeah, if you've got them, then you could use them, I guess. But yeah,
I mean, you know, normally people would just, you know, eat them as is. But I'm saying that's great, but there's something you can do else with them as well. That's non-traditional, and I'll tell you what, grilled pickles are, just try them. Get some nice big dill pickles and pop them on a couple of skewers and just grill them and do it, and serve them with your whatever, you know, your brisket or whatever. Just do it. It's so good, so good. Has anyone down there tried grilled pickles? Have they? Any of them?
Well, I've tried it. Just no one. They're all sort of like I think they're trying to get over the skewers. To be honest, the brisket skewers. It sounds so good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all gone sort of like I think in awe of your your brisket skewers and pickles, mate. To be honest, I'm like
that little crispiness. That bit of crispiness on the burnt ends is banging. You know, they just sizzle and crisp up on the end, and it just adds something extra because you've already got them soft and squidgy, and okay. So Rusty Barbecue have done them as well. So yeah, they are really good, really good.
Yeah.
And it's not something particularly I've seen a lot of people doing. So
there you
go. Sounds interesting. Jimmy Q's put deep fried pickles, but not grilled pickles.
Yeah. Deep fried ones are good. Yeah, grill them.
There you go.
Yeah, I've had some.
You might have started something in America now, Marcus.
For sure.
They'll all be out there grilling pickles.
I'm sure that it's been done before. I've seen it done before, but you know, with the burnt ends, I've not seen that done. You know,
sounds nice.
One of the ones I've done as well that was, I think it was in Food and Fire, was pork belly and black pudding. So pork belly, burnt ends, and black pudding.
That sounds
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
almost like sweet and savoury mixed together.
Yeah, my publisher though, the editor, did pull me up and say I haven't got enough vegetable stuff in there, and I haven't got enough sweet stuff, so I'm gonna have to sort of try and balance it out. She said there's an awful lot of meat recipes here. I'm like, oops.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. You know, the people that buy your books know what they're getting themselves into. Yeah. They're not in it for, well, do you know what? I want to make like a banana pudding. They're there for the barbecue. They're not fucking desserts and salads.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people who come on my barbecue classes here. They come here for the meat, and you know, they usually ask about vegetables and fish and stuff, but they're not here for the salad or the bread.
No. Definitely
I'm pretty sure every time. I'm pretty sure that the salads that we put on the table, they're just for decoration. I'm pretty sure I don't eat them. I don't eat them certainly. You tend to throw half of them away.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't mind a bit of sour coleslaw now, like a vinegar based coleslaw. I don't mind. I'm getting quite into it, but then I'm off of that sort of malarkey. You got to be careful with what I'm.
Just give me that meat in and around my face.
Did you see my?
That sounded terrible. I just realised what I said.
Did you see the post I put up about the ghost chili pork scratchings?
Yeah. No, I missed that one. But that's pretty cool.
Totally addicted to them. Ghost pork scratching. So it's like pleasure and pain all in one. Like you eat it and it hurts, but it tastes so good you want to eat another one. And you're worried about
you eat it hurts, so you eat more. Excellent.
Kind of like sort of masochism, like yeah, it's definitely it's really good. You go ow, and you can't.
No. Go on.
I remember like Simpsons episode where he puts his hand into something and he does it again and again.
Yeah.
Homemade sriracha. I bet that's pretty good. Sauerkraut. That's cool.
I like sauerkraut. I'm loving sauerkraut and pickles and kimchi at the moment, and I'm really getting into that as well, making my own, and I get sent stuff, and it's really amazing. But I'm feeling pretty buzzing at the moment. I went through a bit where after I did Food and Fire, when I was a bit, I sort of spent my enthusiasm, but now I'm buzzing,
I can totally feel your energy from it. You're bubbling for this book, man. It's really, really cool to see. Totally enthusiastic.
And I'm one of those people, and you back me in a corner and give me a deadline and a project to do, and that's when I'm at my best, because I've got to do it. I've got to create. Yeah. And, they said we don't want you to use any of your old recipes. I've got plenty over the years that I've done. They said we want all new ones, and that's what they did with the last book. And that's when I'm at my best. Is that I come up against it, and I've got to push.
That's where the best ideas come from. Once the old grey matter starts popping away, it's like one idea produces another 2 good ideas, produces another 5 good ideas, and it just grows like that, doesn't it? It's how things work. It's really really cool.
It's the same. Like we were talking earlier about I've been playing with TikTok for a couple of years, and it's quite. I'm the wrong sort of age group for it, really, but it's changing quite quickly, TikTok, and it's maturing up quite quickly. And I've tried a few things on it that haven't really worked, and I've just started the new Will It Grill thing, and I want to see. I think that'll hopefully be really good and take off. I'm going to get more and more extreme with what I start grilling. I mean, I started with eggs, sausages. I did a big Boerewors sausage and strawberries I did today. But it's quite good for me. It sort of pushes my creativity, and hopefully it inspires others, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the TikTok thing is, in fact, I'm going to sound old now. I was talking to one of the apprentices at work this morning, and I was like, I'm just sort of like trying to dig in for information about TikTok, because I don't understand it. Like my kids watch TikTok, I watch it, but I end up the sort of stuff I watch. There's a TikTok seems to be like the Wild West of the internet at the minute. That's all I'm saying. But there's some naughty girls on TikTok from what I've seen.
Yeah, But a couple of years ago, it was more like that. I mean, I've noticed probably the last six months to a year, it's changed. There's a lot of barbecuers on there now and sharing their content. And it's like every social media channel's different. So you approach Facebook differently to how you would Twitter, to how you would Instagram, to how you would LinkedIn, and TikTok is just, and if you think of it as fun, having fun and messing around, playing with different things, then you're probably on the right thing. It's not easy though, but
that's kind of exactly
big opportunities to be had on TikTok. I'll tell you, big opportunities.
It's almost like an instant payoff. So you'd put something like, you'd start off with a pickle, and then you'd show it grilled, but you wouldn't show anything in between, if that makes sense. It's almost like an instant sort of satisfaction. Payoff is the best way he described it. And
a friend of mine's doing really huge things, and what he does is he freezes fruit and vegetables. Like he'll freeze a banana, and then with a really sharp Japanese knife he'll cut through it, right, and on screen just very slowly he'll cut through it, and it's the noise as he cuts through it that it makes, and the spice will fall off. And it sounds weird, but that's doing incredibly well because people are fascinated by silly things. And it's really interesting, and it looks nice and it sounds nice and it makes you feel good. And he's just slicing fruit and frozen fruit and vegetables. So it is weird.
Nice cheap one, that one, isn't it? For just freezing fruit and veg. Just not as if you're spending a huge amount of money on props and things like that. So.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I'm TikTok famous. What did you do? I sliced a carrot and a couple of strawberries. Yeah. Boom.
I mean,
fair play.
The guy who does my videoing, James, I encouraged him to go on it earlier in the year, and he's absolutely doing amazing. And what he's known for is making milkshakes, but unusual ones. So he'll add all sorts of things into it, blend it up, and then see if it works. And that's what he's known for, really. So, you've got to think out of the box a bit sometimes with things. And,
definitely.
I'm all about trying to sort of do new things and reach new audiences, and and inspire people, in different ways.
We'll have to eat him up and get him on the show. Tell us about you, dude.
Yeah, people take life too seriously and barbecue too seriously, and it's fun, and that's you have some good food and have fun and enjoy it. And there's too many people taking it too seriously at the moment, and they need to have a bit more fun, I think.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying yourself, you're not doing it right. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Got better taking themselves too seriously as well, and that's.
I've never been one for taking myself too seriously. Not, in fact, seriously at all. I can barely say anything without breaking a smile sometimes. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Right, so let's get on to some cold. No, actually, while we're on the subject, you touched on your barbecue schools. I'm quite interested to. How could I put it? I suppose it must have been a pretty tough year for you, do it with the COVID thing in your barbecue schools and things like that.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I mean, I just started a new job in the spring with my day job in the oil industry, and I had a load of classes lined up, sort of March, April, really. So a lot of people buy vouchers for their husbands or wives or friends or whatever. And so I had all these people who bought vouchers, and normally I get them in the first few months and clear through them, and by May. But had all these people booked in for classes, and obviously couldn't do the classes because of COVID. And it was a bit frustrating for them. It's frustrating for me because I like to do sort of regular classes, 2 or 3 a month usually. And I couldn't until things started to ease. And even then, normally I get sort of 6 at the most on a class. I try and keep the numbers small, but I was doing just 2 or 3 just to ease back into it and see if it worked. I've changed how things are laid out here and stuff. So it was quite a big sort of change, really, but I really enjoyed it. And I've got most people with vouchers through now. And I've had quite a lot of classes now, and I was doing two every weekend for the last couple of months. So I've got lots of people through the classes. But I've just had my last one today of the season. I'm tempted to do a Christmas one, but I mean, it's been gorgeous this weekend, and
it really has.
Was nice, and I've been able to sort of clear through, but today was my last one of the year, and then I'll start up again in spring, really. But it's been a challenge, but thank you for asking.
That's all right. Nothing says Merry Christmas like a barbecue voucher for Marcus's barbecue school, then I'd probably say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get down there, get in it.
I've been doing classes for 4 or 5 years now, I think, and I love it. This is the best ever. This almost makes me cry. So a couple of weekends ago, I had a guy, and he was 70, and his wife bought him the place on it was on my intermediate class, and so everyone sort of chats around, and he said, I've been barbecuing for 50 years, he said, and I'm still pretty rubbish at it. And I show everyone the basics of how to set up a Weber kettle, and he started crying, And I was like, "Are you okay?" And he said, I've been doing this 50 years, and in 5 minutes, you've shown me what I've been doing wrong all of that time. He said, I always learn everything. I have disasters. He said, I was on the point of giving it up. I'm 70 and I'm on the point of giving it up. And he said, you showed me in 5 minutes what I've been doing wrong all this time. And he said, I'm 70 now. I probably only got a few years left, but at least I can fucking barbecue and know that I'm doing it right and not burn everything. And I thought he was just going to give me a hug, like, who's like, up, like, and that was amazing for me that I could do that. And I love that. You give people a light bulb moment, and it blows their minds. And it might seem like simple stuff to us, but to a lot of people, it's life changing.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, like, if you can take a guy, obviously he's been having a cooking disaster all of his like barbecuing life, you could say. You've switched it around, created that much inspiration. Imagine I bet he's going home to the missus. Oh yeah, let's have a barbie. Have a look at this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Yeah. With all your recipes and techniques, you've probably showed him as well over that session. Yeah, I bet he was happy as Larry walking out.
What was it that was causing his issues?
So the quite common thing, and I had it again today with a couple of the guys. So using too much charcoal, loading the whole base of the Weber kettle with charcoal, and then wondering, and then the rules are you get it all white. So all that charcoal, all white, and you've got an inferno. And I just showed him to use a small amount of good quality charcoal in the corner, and then you've got a nice indirect zone, and to use the lid. So many people think that lids are just to keep the rain off the grill, and you show them those few things, and it literally blows their minds. And they say, so many people say to me, why has nobody told me how to do this sooner? And
I had a feeling you were going to say that it was going to be too much charcoal. But like you say, it all boils down to that people are just used to, the sort of the average Joe that just wants to barbecue. Their idea of a barbecue is, get a bag of charcoal that's in a bag that's self-light, and it all spreads out into one spot, and you just flip your sauce. You're chasing the flip constantly to stop burning. But that's some people's idea of barbecue. But I guess if you've been doing it that way for that long, trying to introduce like the indirect cooking methods and lids and stuff like that for the kettles, completely different way of cooking things.
They don't know anything different, and nobody's telling them. I mean, there's people like me out there now, and people are sort of trying to get the message across, but it's the company's Weber, with a Weber kettle you get a little brochure thing that tells you what to do, but most people chuck the instructions away. So there's not really many people in the UK talking about how to set up. The other thing that blows people away is my car analogy, that I teach people on a Weber kettle here, and I say it's like a car that you load your fuel tank up, you put your charcoal in for your journey, so you know how much charcoal you're going to use for your journey, and then the vent on the top is your brake, because that traps the combustion gases in, so that breaks it, and the air inlet at the bottom is your accelerator pedal. And I drive a car on accelerator pedal mostly, and then just brake if I need it, and people get it then,
That's a really good analogy, actually. It's a good way good way of making people understand. That's quite a cool thing. So we touched on your barbecue. Funnily enough, I reckon that would probably tie quite in back. I know it's back to your book again, but skewered cooking will probably lend itself out to your average barbecue guy, because as you said, it's something different. Like you can
That's
cook
like the
anything on a skewer
level of grilling, isn't it? Skewers.
Yeah, for sure.
change from the whole.
Even with a basic simple grill, like I'm doing a lot on my little Thuros T1, and it's a feel for it. And
I like those. They're cool.
Yeah, it's perfect for it. Little grill, little heat source, and you can grill a load of stuff on, and it's good.
So let's break away from the old hot barbecuing as the weather's getting colder, and also we touched upon Christmas is coming around the corner. Do you think you'd be able to explain for people who maybe aren't so familiar the processes of cold smoking food, cheese, bacon,
butter,
nuts, whatever, butter, any sort of basic ingredient?
So it's lovely and sort of still this evening, but it's nice and cold. I like to cold smoke under 10 degrees. I know you can go warmer than that, but I like to do it overnight at 10 degrees. And I think like a ProQ cold smoke generator I've been using one for 10 years or so, and it's brilliant. It's the little maze that you put the smoking wood in and set it going. I've got little cabinets and stuff that I use for it, and I'd say just start with simple things like cheese. Work your way up to, salmon's quite good, fillet of salmon in there, you cure it with 50-50 salt and sugar, give it a bit of a cure overnight, and then wash the salt and sugar off and dry it out a bit. And that's a really nice thing to smoke. I do all sorts really. Do bacon, cure that, and use curing salts for that, and cure it, dry it off, and then cold smoke it. But I love cold smoking. It's that kind of season, isn't it now?
Certainly getting there.
I really enjoy it. Like towards the end of like the barbecue season, if you want, like sort of like now for me. Not that I'm really going to stop barbecuing, but I really do enjoy cold smoking because it's a really simple way of producing really decent tasting food. As you touched on with the salmon 50-50 cure, like salt and sugar, you put that in a wrap it up in a vac pack, or wrap it up with some clean film, put it in the fridge overnight, take it out, clean it off, chuck it in your smoker, or like I haven't got a cabinet smoker. I just use a Weber with
that's all you need
generator in. I've even seen people do it in boxes, like cardboard boxes. I've seen people use like hanging it from bits of wood.
A cardboard box. I used to have an old tea chest. Those old tea chests. I used to do that in there, and it was brilliant. It's perfect for it. I put a bit of cardboard on top, and then I'd put a bit of slate down, and then I put the cold smoke generator on that, and then load it up with stuff, and it's great.
I think it's a fantastic way of, one, preserving food, and two, putting a different flavor into stuff. I've tried cold smoking garlic with very little success. You have to smoke that stuff for hours. I think hot smoked garlic is the way to go, but cold smoked garlic is just more hassle than it's worth, in my opinion.
Cold smoked butter is wonderful, and then you can use it on anything. It's so good. I love cold smoked butter. My most popular YouTube video by a long way is cold smoked salmon and cheese. By a long way, my most popular video on there, and it always does very well in this period now. The views. So if you search for cold smoking or cold smoked salmon on YouTube, it's probably like one of the top videos on that for that. So it gets a lot of views and does me well. So, and that was a video I filmed a long time ago.
Yeah. In fact, I think I used your cold smoked salmon video to figure out how to actually cure and smoke salmon, to be honest. Well, that was a good few years ago, but it's a really good, clear, instructive video, to be honest. It's the instructions are really, really good. They're totally straightforward, totally easy, really easy to understand. I think did you use a curing pack on that one? I think. Yeah. There's one I've seen you use like a little.
Yeah.
You used like a little smoker or a little. Yeah, I think it was a little. It might have been an uni or something. You put like a cold smoke generator in, and then you put the salmon in, and it come out amazing. Looked really cool.
Yeah.
And you've done a comparison as well of like some little smoke blocks, as I remember.
Yeah.
That shows you how much I watched it to try and figure out how to do this salmon. I like studied it. I was like, and you really made it look easy, and it was a good, easy video to follow.
Yeah, thank you. That does very well, that one.
Yeah, so you've taught me quite a lot, to be honest, like indirectly and directly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you make some really good sort of training videos, the wrong word, but instructive.
I'm getting a bit of
videos.
Negativity recently on some of my videos, people saying about, oh yeah, you drop brands in, you're always, that it's more about the equipment sometimes than the cooking. Like on my latest lamb video, a guy was sort of mouthing off, really saying, oh, you've changed over the years, and it's you work with these brands and stuff, but it costs me a lot of money and time and effort to make the videos. I have a guy who I hire to do my filming and editing now, because I have to do so much stuff, not just for me, but for other people as well, that I do a lot of brand work. And, I can't afford to do that and always be paying that out of my pocket. So I have to work with brands. And I think people don't really sort of realize and understand that it is part of how things are in life, that you have to do work with brands, you have to do things and be somewhat commercial,
There's no reason to explain yourself to anyone, Marcus. You're doing a great job, and you've put in a lot of work to get where you are, to get sponsored and have brand placement, right? Yeah. Me and Matt both understand, to get a brand placement, it's not an easy thing to do. So first off, tick, you've done that, it's good. Second off, if you've got a troll or trolls, you made it. So fuck them anyway. Yeah. That's the way you got to look at it. If you're getting haters,
when it's long, I always get trolls, but when it's a long term sort of, somebody's been following me for a long time, and that kind of is harder. But
you just got to take the hate and turn it into a positive. You think, well, there's that. You're in your situation. You know where you are. You know what you're doing, and you're obviously very good at it because you're successful.
Thank you.
One, it's probably jealousy, and two, they can't figure out what they're doing, because if they could, they'd be in your position, and they'd be getting sponsors, and they'd be getting trolls, and they'd be getting shit. So
you're right. Thank you. Yeah,
that's the way you got to look at it. You're successful, fuck them. That's the easiest way to put it. Sorry, guys, if you're hating Marcus, you're a dick. Don't be like that. Just be positive. It's all barbecue. Let's be nice to each other. It's that simple. Off of the high horse, back into the interview.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, but there's no need for it. There's no need for it whatsoever.
I think barbecue's such a positive place on the whole, and barbecue people on the whole very positive. So when you come across some negativity, I think it sort of sometimes takes the wind out of your sail a bit. I get quite a lot of it, online quite often, and there is definitely some jealousy. Oh, why has he been sent that grill or stuff, and companies come to me for a reason. They want promotion. They want some nice, sexy food cooked on their grills. They want to work with somebody who's professional, and a lot of companies send out stuff for people and never hear anything more. And they always know with me that I treat it with honesty, and I'm always open. And some people just don't like that, then, that you are sort of open and honest, and so they try and find another way to sort of, and because barbecuing is such a positive thing and a positive place in general, it's hard when that negativity comes through, because I'm not a negative person. I'd be you know, like you say, I take bad things and I turn them to positive energy and do something good with it. And it's a shame that some people feel like they've got to knock others down to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No. Dutchy put, if you don't like something, there's always an off button. So that's fine.
Absolutely.
And that's right as well. There's no place for it, in my opinion.
Sorry, going deep.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's the best way.
You can do. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy.
It's nice for me to talk, you know, and get things off my chest, you know, my broad chest, and get things off it. And
we've all got one of those.
It's good. Like there's no reason to be. If you're successful, you should be proud of what you're doing. You should be banging your own drum, in my opinion, because it's not the English way. And that's so bad. Like 9 times out of 10, if someone's doing well, it's easier to push them down than lift them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know
what I find as well is I it's not going to sound bitter, but it might do. So I help an awful lot of people, and very few people actually come back to me and say, Marcus, can we help you? Or, you know, there's good guys like yourself. There's, you know, very few people then come back to me and say, look, is there anything, you know, you help all these people, can we do something to help you, you know? And there is I've always seen it that if barbecue does well, we all do well, and a rising tide will float us all up, and we all do well out of it. And it's all about having that community grow, whereas I see quite a lot of people are very much, it's about them and their thing. And they're all right accepting help, but they don't like to help back. And there's a lot of that going on that I see. A lot of people are in it for me, for them. And that kind of barbecue should be about sharing and everyone doing well and enjoying it and having fun and learning off each other, not just about my little castle that's growing up, you know. I've always been about the community and helping to build that, but I'm seeing it more and more people have their own little bit of the world, and they don't want to help other people. You know, they're quite happy to accept help, but they don't want to help other people. But it's a big world. That's all I'm saying. And if you're going to be small-minded enough not to help others, eventually you're going to need help, and that help won't be there. You know, so again, just be nice to each other. That's all you can do. Just be nice. Totally agree. Sorry, going deep here.
No. Well, that's what we're here for. As I said, this isn't like a formal interview by any means. You're sort of like a friend at the show. We're here to shoot the fat about anything. You know, it's like barbecue chat or whatever. You know, so wherever it goes is wherever it goes. We've got a loose format to keep. To sort of like but
so let's keep it.
Whatever you like.
Tell me what your favourite skewers are, Ryan and Matt, and then in the box down below, what's everyone's favourite thing on a skewer?
Oh yeah. All right then. Chicken and chorizo skewers. Yeah. With some like onions and just maybe some peppers on it as well, just to vary it up a bit. There you go.
Cool.
For me, when skewers to me says seafood. Just because I associate going on holiday, like Portugal. Well, I had a fabulous holiday in Portugal, and you know you always get the fish like and they're always on skewers, cooked on like a screaming hot barbecue, served with loads of lemon and that screams skewer cooking to me. You know, you just you're on the beach and there's like a little pub or a little bar nearby, and there's just some geezer in Portugal cooking these little fish.
What are their favourite skewers? Everyone's saying, what have we got?
So we've got Dutchy saying chicken wings in a tandoor skewers. So who else we got? Traditional, I can't even say that, yakitori style.
Yakitori, yakitori.
Japanese rib sliced thin, marinated with simple flavors. Steak tips and vegetables.
I'm just going to nick pick everyone's ideas.
So far we've had Dutchy Cooking, Rusty Barbecue Company, and my good friend Johnny Maggs from across the pond. In fact, we were on his podcast Tuesday. In fact, Pit Life Barbecue podcast. If you haven't watched it, check it out. He's a good guy. I'm
waiting for Mike. I'm waiting to see what Mike says from the Dude's Kitchen and Grill if he's still in. He's gonna pull something out of the bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. His leopard will have them.
Down, so thank you. They'll be appearing in my book. I'm one of these fans. I enjoy.
Yeah, the word's on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it out. Satay chicken. So something like that. You know, satay chicken skewers would be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be in there. Of course, I could not do that. The trouble is then you think, oh yeah, I've got to have that. I've got to have that, and suddenly you've got 1,000 recipes, and you know, I'm not going to be able to do everything. And
no, of course,
you know, but there's always going to be people who go, oh yeah, why haven't you done that? Or you know, so I've tried to cover pretty much how I can, as much as I can.
Are you putting desserts in this skewered book? Yeah. So like skewered, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
but I guess you're going to do sort of, you know, like pineapple, like melon, mango kind of skewer type thing.
I did strawberries on the skewer for my TikTok, which were very good. So I might have to do something with that. My editor of the book said I haven't got enough sweet things and vegetable things in there, so I'm going to have to.
Strawberry and black pepper was a thing a little while ago, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that might be quite nice. That's what I was thinking, something like that. Strawberry, black pepper.
You could do the whole like s'mores thing on skewers.
That's already done. That's in the bag. That is with my kids.
It's done, is it? Yeah,
lovely.
What about? I keep seeing these bacon wrapped Oreos. I'm not sure about the whole bacon wrapped Oreos, but you could do something with Oreos, strawberries, and you know, deconstruct them and then reconstruct them on a skewer.
Yeah, maybe. Marshmallow.
Martin bacon skewer.
Yeah. I mean, the popular was my chicken bacon avocado one from Food and Fire. That was a popular one. Avocado's great grilled, really good grilled, and the chicken bacon avocado one was sensational. So
pineapple and rum glaze.
Yeah, I'm going to do some figs as well. Figs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Some grilled fig. Bacon. You've got to wrap them in bacon.
Yeah.
If you're going to do figs, you've got to wrap them in bacon. That was like.
What do they say? Bacon makes everything better.
I'll tell you, dates and bacon as well is amazing.
Dates in bacon. I'm writing all these down.
I'll tell you what, my dad, before my dad moved away, he used to have a Christmas party every now and again. And his thing was to do dates wrapped in bacon. And by no means is he a good cook, because he's not. But dates wrapped in bacon are nice.
Devils on horseback or something.
Is that what they're called? I don't know. I've only ever known him, like, it's the only place I've ever seen him.
Yeah, I think that's what they're called. Something like devils on horseback, figs in, or dates wrapped in bacon. I think that's the name.
So good.
Yeah.
But that's we never used to have many parties, especially at Christmas, because he was a bit like the Grinch, but when he did, they always come out.
Nice.
It's not a person. Yeah, nice, tasty though. No, don't worry, mate. It's a long day. We're flying
it's a long day with the classes. I mean, they take a lot out of me, you know, doing the classes.
Yeah.
This was a nice sort of private one. It was a group of lads, like, you know, and the one who's really into. There's always one who's really into it, and he drags his mates along. And like it was quite funny because I did the dirty steaks, and they really weren't like the one who knew me, you know, he follows me, he was expecting it. The other guys, literally their eyes popped out of their head when I put the steaks in the charcoal. Like they were like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And that blew them away a
bit.
Yeah. Cheers, Steve. Yeah, pie and mash on a skewer. I'd probably go for that, actually. I like a bit of pie and mash. Bit of liquor. Pie and mash and liquor is beautiful.
Nothing wrong with pie and mash.
No, it's nice. I like it.
Grilled jellied eels. Could you do that?
You probably could, and I'd eat it because I love jelly deals. I'd eat it all day long.
Yeah.
I'd eat it till it comes out my ears, like
Grilled
cockles
jellied eels, skewers.
cockles and mussels and whelks. You could do all of that. Oh, I'll tell you what would be good. Razor clams.
Oh yeah, I love them. Yeah, they're good.
We'd do something with that on a skewer. Cut them up.
Yeah.
Bit of bacon. Razor clams and bacon. That's quite classic.
Yeah. You're gonna have to name that one after Ryan if you use it.
Yeah. The Ryan G special. So
that's it.
Yeah. But the technique section, because I had quite a big sort of techniques like fire control and stuff in Food and Fire, and that helps a lot of people. But it's quite straightforward, really. For this, really, get your coals hot and got them.
There you go.
Job done.
Yeah.
Could you do a dirty skewer? I was just thinking about that. I suppose if you've got a dirty steak, you must be able to do a dirty skewer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you know what one of my nicest ones as well was? I got some mince, beef mince, and I made like a long kebab with it, and I just put barbecue dry rub on it, grilled it, got it nice and crispy, and then brushed it with barbecue sauce. That was so good, really good.
That sounds lush.
Yeah.
Did you do the old cut the old 2-litre bottle in half trick and fill, and then push down on it with your skewer so that it gives you skewer?
Yeah, I've got a posh version of that somewhere. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show people how to make those sort of things, and the bottle one is what I'm going to do.
Those things those things that do well on TikTok.
Yeah.
People will be like, 6 seconds. Oh, that looks like a good idea, and off they go and chop up an old Coke bottle and chuck some mince in there and watch it shoot across the kitchen.
Yeah. Cool.
We haven't done a giveaway for Uncle Steve for a long time. Is he in the chat? Have you seen Steve pop up? We've got a guy in America. He's called Steve Brown. Well, Uncle Steve it's called. And like he says, whenever you want to do an American giveaway, we can do an American giveaway. If there's any people in America from the chat, say hello, and we're going to do a giveaway and
stick a little thumbs up.
Yeah, do some sort of, as he said, and we'll get some Uncle Steve shake sent out to you after a question set by Marcus at some point. And we just leave that there and carry on and see how many thumbs up we get. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, he always says it, and we haven't done it for a while. I must admit, last week was a bit overbearing, but this week it's cool.
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah. So as we've
should we talk about Christmas?
Yeah, I know
it's quite early for it, but
you're not allowed to talk about Christmas until December the 1st. Really.
We've got so much as barbecuers, as people who cook outdoors. Everybody knows. Everybody's thinking about their Christmas cooks now, and what they're going to do.
I've done all mine. I've done all my Christmas content pretty much. Back in the summer, in sort of August, I filmed all. It was blimmin' baking, and there was me doing turkeys and stuff, and
in a jumper.
Gotta make it look real.
Sitting
in the heat wave with a fucking jumper on.
I've got all my content done because you've got to do it early. So most of my content will be going out sort of end of November, early December probably. So that's when I sort of start hitting it really. I'm sort of looking forward to it really. I think it's going to be a bit of a different year this year. I mean, my kids can't go and see Santa. There's all these. It's going to be a different year this year, but we make of it what it's going to be what it is. I'll be cooking my turkey out here. I've been doing that last 10 years.
I'm trying to convince the wife to let me cook the turkey today, this year on the barbecue, but not sure.
Do one that's not at Christmas. Do one in like
early
December,
now.
or now, and show her what's possible, and then go easy on the smoke. I'd say a little bit of cherry, one chunk of cherry, and that's perfect. Go really easy, nice cherry smoke on turkey, bit of salt and pepper. I inject mine with sort of a garlic butter rather than a brine. I'm less of a briner, more of an injecting it with butter, and cook it to 74 at the most. I normally aim for like high 60s if I've got a good turkey. Even just with a nice turkey crown or a breast, do that, and she'll, I mean, my family don't want it any other way now, and it's improved over the years by doing less smoky. It's I remember my first ones were like really smoky. And,
I think
in the garage with the car on.
You just need a little subtle chunk. Just add a little lump, and the good charcoal is the key. Is with poultry, I find. Like
sort of cook time you roughly reckon for a turkey, for a whole bird?
A whole bird, couple of hours at the most. Really, for as long as it's not too big, two-ish hours usually. People are quite surprised. People are quite surprised at how quick it does when it's not. So an oven, like you load it up, with the turkey will cool it down, and you load it up with all the other stuff, and that all cools it down, and that makes it cook longer. If you cook it in the barbecue, you just chuck it on, and it cooks, and it usually
close the lid up and away you go.
People overcook their turkeys quite quickly, and oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. No, they overcook them, and I normally, a good quality turkey would be sort of, I take it off at 66, and it would carry on going up. It'd probably get to sort of 70 odd. But people should, if they're not sure, take it to 74. So that's the golden number really for turkey.
You're always going to get a few degrees carry over when it's off the grill, aren't you? When it's rested.
I was amazed today. So I do a roast topside on the Weber kettle, and it normally, so I take it off at 47, and normally it goes to 53, so 6 degrees of carryover. Today it went right up to 57, and I don't know what I did differently. I didn't do anything differently. Same amount of charcoal, same amount of temperature, same size of topside, and it went up sort of 10 degrees instead of sort of 6 or 7 that it normally does. Very strange.
It's meats. Every piece of meat's different, really. It's a sort of is what it is. So, question time. We've got a couple of people. We've got Johnny Mags. We've got Jimmy Q. With thumbs up. If you want to get some more thumbs up in the chat, stick your thumbs up, because the question's gonna go in a minute.
Ask me anything. Ask me anything, and I'll answer best as I can.
We are going to get you to set a question, Marcus. So, something nice and intermediate, because I know there's some intermediate. Well, there's some good barbecues in here, to be honest. So let's talk turkey. I think, since we've been talking turkey, turkey question. Off you go.
So I got to come up with a turkey question.
Yeah, talking turkey now. Not to why you're thinking about it. I'll just babble on. Think of a question.
Should you cook turkey? No.
Yes.
Should you cook turkey low and slow, or what's the best temperature to cook turkey at?
There we go. So, guys.
And I know somebody will probably say deep fry it.
You never know. Yeah. I've seen some of them videos. They're pretty crazy, especially the ones that go wrong.
I've got a number in my head that I would do it at.
Fried or baked?
Or
smoked?
Fried, baked, or smoked.
So on the barbecue, on the grill. So
Dutch has come in. 300F. We might need to convert that into C. Or are you happy with Fahrenheit as well?
What's that? 300F. Go on, Matt. You're on the computer. I haven't got.
What are you told? 148 degrees Celsius.
No, too low.
Too low. 300 again.
275. No, too low.
Too low.
I think.
You go higher.
In my experience. Go higher. So I think you need crispy turkey skin. I think that is a goal to have. So if you cook it, so the Maillard reaction starts happening above 160 degrees. So you need to have that to crisp up the skin. Otherwise, the skin's like rubber. It goes rubbery if you cook it low and slow. So I think I cook mine 180 to 200 degrees C.
Gas Mark 5.
We've got Dude's Kitchen 375. That's got to be ballpark. What's that one, Matt?
That's pretty much 375. We're looking 190.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for. Something like that. Yeah.
190. Okay.
That'll get you crispy skin. I did a turkey thigh. And yeah, it was in that 180 to 200 ballpark, and the skin crisped up lovely. So being like rubber, it's nice and crispy. So I always say go for that sort of smoke roasting rather than smoking. You know, a lot of people say come into country wood smoke, and they say, I've done my turkey, but it's like the skin's like rubber. You know, low and slow, it's going to be. You got to get that crispy, rendering fat, and you need sort of 160 plus for that, really. So
what about low and slow and then giving it hot and fast for the final 10 minutes?
I don't find that works so well. So you need to render the fat out for a long time to get it truly crispy. And in my experience, it's having the right. So rather than a quick blast, it's better to have a nice steady cook at that upper temperature, so you get that nice crispy skin that we all dream of.
There you go.
Right. So, Mike, we'll hit Uncle Steve up and get you some products sent out. You are the winner, according to Mr. Marcus, and thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
We'll do it next week. We'll see how we get on. Bring back in Uncle Steve. He's a good guy. Damn, I knocked the shake down. I was going to show up on the shake, but I just knocked it down trying to make a drink.
So I'm going to go with the question with the Christmas stuff.
Go.
Ideas for people or partners of barbecue addicts. What do you reckon? To be fair, if we haven't already got it, is it worth having? Is probably what I'm gonna go with. But if someone's just starting out, what would you suggest for those partners to go out and buy for people?
Thermometer, thermopan, meter.
Yeah.
A good book. A place on my course.
Yeah, definitely. Barbecue vouchers.
Yeah.
So that's available in the US as well, isn't it? Food on Fire. You can get that out there.
Yeah, you get it in the US. Yeah, it's over there. So yeah. I think for most people, get them some patience. So a lot of people don't have patience with barbecue. Yeah, you can.
I need a fucking top up of that stuff.
Amazon sell patient by the bucket load. So.
Really? Yeah. Zip ties and duct tape, so you can just chuck the kids somewhere and leave them.
I was going to say it might depend what country you're in, but that could be a bit controversial, to be honest.
I mean, I see so many people get impatient with their grills and their grilling. I mean, one of the guys I was talking to earlier, he had a lovely, I think he had a Pro Q bullet smoker, and he said he tried cooking on it for a week and then threw it away because he couldn't get on with it. And he took it to the tip.
More money than sense.
For a week.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, they're lovely. They're decent cookers. They are.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, but hopefully I've
What about
shown
you,
you.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on. Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah.
What would you suggest for people to buy for Christmas?
Ooh, what would I suggest? I would probably say, again, barbecue thermometer, a good pair of gloves, heat-proof gloves. I'm sure you can vouch for that, Matt.
I'll tell you what, I fucking melted my ones already.
What's up with you?
Well, I've got this thing for burning myself, and clearly I felt a little bit more confident with fucking gloves on. So I was like, I can't be that hot to pick up the fucking grill after it's been with the vortex, and oh, it's getting hot. Oh shit, the gloves are on fire. As you do.
Yeah.
Low and slow or hot and fast.
Put more gloves. Yeah, they were melted. They were bugging
through them. Barbecue gloves are a must. A good thermometer again. We can vouch a meter. Check out the code on our site.
Yep.
Also, a nice selection of barbecue rubs is always good if you're into cooking. You know, you can. There's a lot of good people in the UK, and there's a lot of good people over in America. But yeah, we got the rub. This sounds like product placement. I'm so sorry, but it's not. I've used the Rusty Barbecue Company rubs on a lot of stuff, and it's really nice. So if you're in the UK, check their rubs out. They've got a really good selection. Again, Uncle C's stuff in America, that's really good as well. I know there's a lot of other UK producers that make rubs. Angus and Oink, for instance, they make good stuff. If
at the moment, I'm having a bit of a break from it. My rubs did well, but yeah, I
nearly said, and then I remembered, which isn't like me. That was quite...
I'm going to go for some more peculiar things. I think
go-go dancers. Everyone needs go-go dancers.
You're telling me?
Yeah, definitely. Like a tiki bar. Cast iron.
Yeah.
Get yourself a cast iron, like a skillet, or a Dutch oven. I've just bought a Dutch oven, in fact. And I've just bought the Curry Guys Bible.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I think it's like fucking incredible. It blew my mind when I opened it. I was like, he's every page is just like, I want all of them in my face.
He's a good friend of mine, so he's a lovely guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cast iron. That means you can just go and cook other, just more things. A chimney star. Everyone needs a chimney star. Don't buy this fucking instant light shite that people use.
Or a nice look lighter.
I've never tried one.
If you're worth it, they're really good. I got two. We have an indoor one and an outdoor one, and they're brilliant.
Okay. There you go. One of those. What else would I suggest? Some good utensils.
Yeah.
Stop using your fingers.
Yeah.
To flip fucking boiling hot meat and burning it every time, and use a decent set of utensils. That's what I reckon.
And the go-go dancers.
And definitely the go-go dancers.
Go-go dancers are the equivalent of bacon. They make everything better.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. Any ladies present?
Oh, that's true. Sorry, Jules.
It's not sexist. Go-go dancers can be men as well.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Well, I actually thought about having a career as a go-go dancer, and then I realised that I probably couldn't, so I didn't.
Yeah.
It was a short story, but there you go. That's the end of it.
Be fine.
Why don't the three of us could be like,
Just to remember, the internet's full of strange people. Someone would have paid.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Come on, look. It's got to be worth something.
Barbecue go-go dancers.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. funny, you said cast iron. Deb got me. I actually got some cast iron for Christmas last year, so good thing.
There you go.
Yeah, that was really cool. Nice big skillet and a Dutch oven. Really nice stuff.
I'm looking forward to using my Dutch oven. I've seasoned it. Thanks, Steve, for the advice on seasoning it. Seasoned it over the yesterday, day before. Stank out the house. As you do every time when you season stuff. To be fair, it's been a busy week, so that was easier than going out and firing up the barbecue and doing it. So, and now we're just going to start. I think I'm going to do some of the curry dishes in the Dutch oven. I think they'll come out really nice like that.
I love that this time of year. Nice sort of stews and curries and things, and it's all good.
Yeah. Steve said, I told you to do it outside. Yeah, I know you did tell me to do it outside, but it's been really busy.
I was given some goat shanks by a chef visit here, and he bought some goat shanks, like lamb shanks, but goat, and for me to cook. So I'm going to do something with them as well, like a nice, slow sort of, quite fancy, like a goat curry. Yeah, goat stew, goat curry.
Goat curry would probably be a winner. I should imagine that'd be pretty like a lot of people. In fact, a couple of years, do they still do Goattober? Is that still a thing anymore?
Yeah,
that still happens.
I haven't seen it so much this year, but it is a thing. So
I remember that. Every year there was like Goattober, and loads of people used to get goat and cook it. But I haven't really seen that much of it this year for some reason.
I'll tell you what I had recently. So I went to me and the missus and my boy popped out to a restaurant, and I had mutton ribs. And normally I'm a bit about mutton. It's a bit strong for me. I find it a bit powerful, the lamminess of it. But these were stunning. They had a Mongolian spice rub on, and they weren't cooked in the barbecue. They were just slow cooked for a long time, and they were incredible. They're absolutely stunning.
Wow. I don't mind a bit of mutton, to be honest. I think that's quite a decent cut of meat, That's again, it reminds me of when I was younger. We didn't, like, my nan brought me up, so like she was always cooking that sort of stuff. It was always offal or mutton or something like that, a little bit of a cheaper cut, but you got more of it to feed more people,
November, couldn't we?
November.
Yeah.
Like, that'd go with Movember. November.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Let's do it. Let's get some mutton. Let's get grilling. Get it outside. Get it on.
Let's get skewers.
Yeah, get it. Mutton on skewers. Skewered mutton.
Yeah.
They've got mutton, but I'll tell you what. Mutton belly would is it mutton belly? No, was it mutton skirt? You get the skirt of the lamb and the skirt of the mutton. Do that on skewers, because that's like it's like a layered meat, isn't it? You got fat, meat, skin. Sort of like put that like what's it called? What's it called? A pancetta, where you have the beef and you stick that on it, so you get a crispy side and the fatty side.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
There we go. Heard
it here first. Mutvember.
Mutvember.
It'd be a load of stuff. Mind you, you'd have to mark that.
Mutvember. Let's do it.
Yeah. Just have to make sure there's no stray dogs or anything like that.
Yeah, let's do it. Mutvember.
Yeah, Mutvember. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Well, that's how these things come about. People having a laugh and wanting to promote something, like, it's Goattober's been a really good thing, and
Goattober, it just gets me every time.
I can't believe it. Like, that was.
It's you know who that's from. That's James Wetlaw, who's a good friend of mine, Cabrito, and he's only just over the hill really from me. So he's a really good guy. He pops out here every now and again, and his thing is goats.
Yeah. Goat is a nice meat, to be honest. It's really, if you actually sit and think about the amount of people in the world who actually eat goat there's a lot of people, because it's like, it's because it's a really hardy animal, isn't it? You look at a goat; they can live pretty much anywhere on pretty much nothing. So you can milk them and then chop them up for your dinner if you want. So it's like a really
muttons are the same, really, aren't they? They're hardy animals, muttons, and they you get them around. And they're quite tasty. I quite like a good mutton.
Yeah, well, they sort of lend itself to low and slow cooking, don't they? I don't think you could
much better than lamb's nice. Did you see the video I did today of the lamb on the PK? That was really good. Literally, I just couldn't stop myself eating the crispy skin on it. It was just amazing.
Nice.
I'll tell you, I was actually going to mention that the PK grill. It's really cool they've come over here because they look like really good bits of kit.
Yeah.
Really solid cookers. I've seen them. Sort of like, I'll be totally. The only person I've really seen cook with them is Malcolm Reed, and your good self now. But you sort of like on the rundown that you done, where you sort of like done a walk around of it. It was really quite interesting to actually see how well made they are.
It's very robust, and they find them from the 1950s, in a barn somewhere in America, and it's not. I think 1952 was the original ones came out, and they find them from the 50s in barns, and they're perfect. They're cast aluminium, they're perfect, and I love it. It's bomb proof, and it's very simple cooking. Like you have the coal at one end, and then your food at the other end, and you set up the air vents quite easy, and it's brilliant. I love it. It's simple, straightforward cooking, and it's very efficient, and love it.
I know they go mad. They sort of like bonkers, aren't they, for the SCA competition cooks and stuff like that? But I bet you could do quite a decent low and slow cook on that as well, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be playing with that. They're not the biggest cookers, so there's not a huge amount of room for like a brisket, and they don't come with like a plate set, ceramic sort of thing to make it indirect. But I'm sure you could do a decent brisket on it. Sure, certainly.
Yeah, pile it all over one side, shut the vents up.
Yeah.
Well, open them at the bottom, open the other side up, and draw it across. Should probably do the trick, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be quite an interesting thing to watch.
I'll have a play at that. That'll be on my little list. So. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. But personally, I wouldn't mind getting one if my wife would let me. But but they're definitely on the list.
Down to your grandkids.
Well, Weber are really sort of. Like, I've got a Weber that's really old. I've got a Weber gasser that's 8 years old. I've got a Weber kettle that's got to be pushing 6 years old, and it's like brand new. The only thing that's
Go Anywhere charcoal from 1981, and I found it at the local recycling centre, and I saw the Weber box, my eyes lit up, and it was like, oh, and it was marked up at £5 on the thing, and I took it to the guy, and he said, oh, that's been there ages. He said, you can have it for £3, and it's a 1981, and it was in the original box.
No way.
There was a receipt in it with the date on, and there was the manual, the instruction manual with it, and everyone was wearing like flares and stuff, and had nice hippie jumpers and stuff, and it was amazing, really. So 1981, and it was perfect nick, really. I mean, it had probably been used a couple of times and put in somebody's garage, but that was a bit of a fight.
Now was the time to go, recycle centre shopping. Everyone's throwing out, I'm going to clear out my garden before it gets rainy, and off goes the barbecues. All the Weber kettles get thrown in the bin.
Yeah. Good for 10 years. We've had it a summer. We get another one next year. So, yes. Facebook Marketplace. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I remember like a couple of years ago, I got a Master Touch off at Facebook Marketplace, and it was like £30. It's like, are you sure?
Yeah, I'll snap your arm off. You got anything else?
And the only reason I wanted it was for the, like, to be honest, I also had the Master Touch, the grill with a center in it. I thought, the grate's got to be worth 40 quid. So it's like, yeah, it's really, really cool. Really good. There's a lot of good bargains out there at the minute. Well, you just got to look. If you're lucky, you'll find something. But and that's a good tip as well. If you're starting out in barbecue, you don't need to buy new. You can just go out and get something secondhand and try your hand at it, and spend a bit more money as you get a little bit more into things. Best way to do it.
What I teach people. I mean, I taught the lads today. They were all after a pellet grill, and I taught them out of that. So I said, until they all had Weber kettles. I said, look, until you've mastered that, then you don't really need anything else, And then if you start feeling like you've mastered it and you're happy with it, then and it's holding you back, that's the time then to choose something else, be it a ceramic or a pellet grill.
But you could argue as well, though. That's sort of like, now I'm going to sound like a right old sod. The younger generation of grillers coming through aren't necessarily charcoal cookers anymore. They just want something that's easy and available, and it's going to
plug it in and let it go. Job. Pellets.
Yeah. Some people want the craft of barbecue. They want to learn it properly, like we do. Other people just want some nice food that comes off the smoker, and for those people, a pellet grill is great.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think if you're cooking outside and enjoying yourself and turning out some half decent food, and with your family primarily, you're doing the right thing. Good man, he's on the hard stuff now.
Yeah, burnt ends.
I think that's probably a good point to wrap up the formalities and open up the pub club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
what do you think? Yeah.
As Marcus is breaking his scotch out, we're going to head off into the pub club. So if you want to give out your social medias, Marcus, tell everybody where you are.
So I'm Country Wood Smoke on pretty much everything: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. What am I on TikTok? Yeah, TikTok. Get with the kids on TikTok, and don't do anything dodgy to the kids on TikTok, because you can get in trouble for that.
Yeah, you don't want anyone getting burnt or anything like that on TikTok.
No trouble on TikTok. So and Twitter, I'm Devon Wood Smoke.
Devon Wood Smoke.
Because I couldn't write Country Wood Smoke wouldn't fit on Twitter, so I had to. I would have been Country Wood Smock, but that wouldn't work. So
wouldn't have worked. No.
Devon Smoke. So I wonder if there is a Country Wood Smock on Twitter. I wonder.
Surprise me.
Yeah. Somebody's nicked my.
Most likely.
Yeah, branding's everything, isn't it? Especially nowadays. Like as I said, I've got a TikTok account. I don't know what to do with it, but I've got my name on there just so it's there,
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll probably use it at some point, but at the minute it's like, what?
So,
yes.
Thank you again for tuning into the Barbecue Talk Show. Remember, we're available in podcast form, so if you miss us live, you can catch us up in any way that you grab your podcasts. We've got a Facebook page. Give us a like. We've also got a group. Trying to build the community on our group. Share your pictures, your videos, and all your other bits and bobs. Come along, chat with the guys that are in there. If you've got any interest in becoming a guest on our show, if you email guest@bbqtalks.com, that's bbqtalks.com. Our handles on most platforms @Barbecue Talk Show. My Instagram is Smoking Q's. My Facebook and YouTube, same thing. Ryan's Instagram, Ryan's_G's_barbecues.stuff. And his YouTube, Ryan G's Barbecue and Stuff. There we go. So we will be back in about a minute and a half to open up the pub club. See you guys in a minute.
See you soon.